My name is Muleme Steven. I'm a professional visual artist. Though the community, some people know me as Chris Layer. That is my social media. Those are the names I use on social media, in particular Facebook. I went to Kumba University and I have a bachelor's degree in commercial industry art and design. I've done quite a lot of things. After my university, I started teaching some school around Kampala, and I was teaching art. I taught in that school for over 3 years. Unfortunately, down the road, my boss discovered my sexuality and I was fired from my teaching career. That is a story that is known to just a few people, actually those people who are too close to me. Life became so hard for me during that time because that was the only source of income. And here comes a time I'm fired and I had to start struggling, looking for a daily bread. I had responsibilities, so it was really a hard time for me. That was around 2014, that's when I was fired. But before that, I was still, I was just joining the movement, the LGBT movement. During that time, I was working with Youth on Rock Foundation. I was just a volunteer, and I was the outreach officer. I worked for them for over 2 years. Then I had to leave that group, Youth on Rock, and I joined the Rainbow Mirrors Uganda. I was working as their finance for 1 year. A few challenges happened and still had to leave Rainbow Mirrors, though we kept in touch with the management because it is all one movement, so we had to to stay close to one another. I also got a chance to work with the Icebreakers Uganda, and I have been their PLE educator for over 3 years. Up to now, I'm still their PLE educator. We've done so much with them. We've achieved a lot in helping the grassroots community members, especially to accessing health services, counseling. It's been a good journey with them, working with them. Like I told you in the first place, a professional visual artist, and I did not want to sit on my talent. Yes, I've been doing a lot in art. Many people have been giving me commissions to do for them, portraits, different art pieces. And I'm happy I've got quite a lot of a big connection here and outside Uganda. I've got a chance to work with the Rainbow International Activist Solidarity Fund. I have some good friends there, and they have been giving me commissions to do for them different art pieces, and that's how I've been surviving. I get commissions, I do for them artworks, I ship them to UK and to US. So that's how I've been able to earn my daily income. Though some people have been wondering how I managed to survive, but that's the secret behind. A few people know about that. Yes, I've also worked for some people here in Uganda, a few of them, and the good thing, these are the people in our community. They have been giving me also commissions. I do for them art pieces, wall hangings in their houses, yeah, and so many things. So as a professional artist, I sat down. This is a vision I've been having for quite a long period of time. I felt there was something lacking. Before that, I managed also to have a professional website for my art, and that is www.muleme.com. That is my professional visual account, rather my professional website for my art. As you can see, there is home, about. You can, if you want to read about me, you just click here on the about space. Then you easily read about me. If you want to contact me, ask me about anything, the contacts are there. You just go there. Yeah, it's here. You can see there are quite several art pieces. So if you want to buy them, you just click on any art piece you want, and it will go to the cut provision. It will show you the details of the art piece. It will give you the information about the art piece, the title, the entire information about the art piece, the colors used, the materials used, the prices. So all the things are there. So it's very easy, and the payment method is PayPal. I've been in the LGBT movement for all my lifetime, though back in the days I lived in denial, in closet, I would say. I didn't want to, publicly come out. I always feared. So many stories were running around, once you declare you're an LGBT member, you're taken to prison, you are put to death. So many stories were running around, and that alone kept me back in the room, not coming out in the light. I come to join the movement in 2013. That's when I started coming out publicly, after meeting several members in the community. You get to learn from them, their experiences. You ask them this and that, they tell you this and that, yet you've been hearing different stories. So I joined the movement in 2013, to start becoming active, and it's my boyfriend actually who brought me into the open space of the movement. He introduced me to Youth on Rock Foundation, and it was really challenging because I always feared to work for LGBT groups. But again, I was brave. I was courageous. I had to give in my all, because it wasn't helping me at all living in closets. So I felt it was the right time for me to, fight for what I am. The experience wasn't that easy. The fact being it, I was just, joining the movement. It wasn't easy. There were so many challenges. For instance, I was working voluntarily for Youth on Rock, yet you had to survive, and people around you when they saw you're working with a particular LGBT group, they already took you for having a lot of money on you. So you started, I started having lots of challenge with the people around me. They thought I had a lot on me, and everyone started bringing their, I wouldn't say problems, I don't know, but everyone started, asking you for this and that, helping them here and there, and it was hard for you to explain to them that you're just doing this work voluntarily. It was hard to convince them. Yes, a few of them could believe, but others could not. And it came along with so many challenges, especially my family members wanting to know the kind of work I do. I kept on telling them I'm an activist, and if they wanted you to dig so deep in details, telling them the exact work you're doing. But I could just tell them I'm a human rights defender, that's all. Then it came at a point when one of my relatives wanted to even come to where I work. And it was really a hard challenge for me. At some point, I decided to disassociate with them, not, yeah.
With the family or with the movement?
The family.
Oh, so you're not out your family?
I'm not out with my family, though just a few of them know. 2 of my brothers, actually. And these are my young brothers. My mom is not aware about my sexuality. My dad, my elder sisters. Though my dad is suspicious about my sexuality, because I remember, let me take you back, I remember I was in senior 2. I was in senior 2, that's around 2013, if I could recall. I was expelled from school. I had a friend who was, openly gay, and he was in a scripture union at school. He was called in a meeting, disciplinary committee, and when he's asked to give out his friends who are also like him, he mentioned my name. And I'm just in class, a teacher comes in, who is Stephen? I went into a disciplinary committee, but you find I wasn't given a chance to explain myself. And during that time I was not yet out. I was still in the closet. I was just innocent about anything. Though I had a love for the movement, so I was expelled from school, and this was a toughest journey of my education career. I thought that was the end of it all. I had to convince my dad that I wasn't a member of the LGBT movement. But good enough, he believed me, and he got me a new school.
Which year was this when you expelled for this? Which year was this?
That was 2000.
And which class were
2003.
And which class were you in?
I was in senior 2.
Senior 2.
Yes. So he got me a new school, and I got some challenges. New environment, you're meeting new people, and then there comes one of my relatives who told me, be careful, your dad has put spies on you. He wants to prove whether what led to your expulsion from your former school is really true. So I was very, very, very careful about my life. I joined campus. Luckily, I finished my A-level and joined campus in 2009. Yes, I joined the university, like I told you, in the first place in Kuchu University. So this is a time when, Facebook comes on chat. I opened up an account in my real names, but again, you go back to check, you're finding lots of friendship requests, including from your family members who had access to Facebook at that time. So I got scared a little and had to close that account for 2 weeks because I don't know what was, going to come. I had stories. Facebook is strictly for gay people, and that pulled me back. So I got back after 2 weeks and I changed everything. I changed my real names to anonymous names, and I had to block every family members from my account. So that's when I started, getting in touch with the community members. They send you requests, friendship requests, asking to meet you. You meet some of them, others you're afraid to meet them because you could not know what their intentions were. And I think that was a time when the Anti-Homosexuality Act was in process, so it was really a hard time for me to accept. Yeah. I started having the vision for visual echoes 2 years back. I have been building on a few things, but in most cases I've been, I've been consulting people close to me, my good friends, even here and outside the country. Like I told you, I'm a professional visual artist. I wanted to not sit on my talent. I felt there was a need to share my skills with other community members. So I started this visual echoes in 2017. That's when it was opened up. And I was looking at bringing close the LGBT members. Since I have been in the movement for quite several years, I have seen so many of them with very unique skills, unique talents. There are so many visual artists in our community members, even other people who really wish to be artists. So I felt I needed to open up something for them, something that will bridge them. And I'm looking at the LGBT category. And basically, I look at, teaching them the different art forms in the different subjects of art. I wanted them to use skills. Yes, there are those ones who already have some skills, and there are those ones who want to, take part in the art journey. So I feel it's the right time for me to share with them my skills. I want them to start, making different art pieces, and I'm looking at them doing art pieces with themes, in particular LGBT. So, and it's not only, I'm not looking at only doing art, but there is also sports. We are also dealing in sports, and particularly netball. So there are those community members who have skills in playing netball. So I want also to have a safer space for them, because in most cases they have been denied the opportunities in playing in public, teams. So I want at least for them to feel at home playing with members of their own, and also to open up opportunities for them. There are always tournaments outside, even within, so I want them to exercise their skills in that. Going back to visual echoes in art, I look at digging deep in the different cultures of art, the different cultures in Uganda. Different cultures have different art forms. So these are some of the art pieces I do. You can see them. This is a batik work. This is called batik. This is a painting and I used acrylics. An inspiration I got from Alua, painting done on a local material, a backcloth, the drama, the pressure from the community. When you try to share your idea with someone, they think you have lots of fans are waiting for you. Yet it's not the fact. And someone tells you, don't do that. You're putting your life at risk. Be comfortable with where you are, at least right now. But if you happen to open up an organization and it is helping LGBT members strictly, you're going to face lots of challenges from the government and even within the LGBT movement. But again, since that was my vision, I said no, this is my passion. I've had it for so long. Let me take a risk. I know it's going to be successful. I've done a lot for the community and I feel it's the right time. So yeah, that alone was a challenge. And also the challenge so far is the other challenge I'm facing so far for a start is I want to say funding, yes. Because starting up something in art is a very hard, huge task. Art materials alone are very expensive to access. And even getting a safer space for where you're going to display your artworks, it is also a hard thing to get. Art materials are very expensive, and this is going to be more of a practical session. We are going to be doing we are going to be producing. So that means it requires to invest in a lot, the materials and tools to use. But I am optimistic. Along the way, maybe we shall find funders, people who are interested in funding such causes once they come on board. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is hindering talent development in the community, especially in the Ghana LGBT movement? And what would be a message to those with such gifts? What could be hindering some people who have talents too, the LGBT people, to come out and execute this?
Well, I would say so many of our colleagues fear to start something. They always feel they're not ready for something. They feel so and so is going to speak this and that if I come out to start doing something. They feel they are young. And when I talk about being young, it's not to do with age, but they feel they're young in activism. Activism is not all about the age, it's all about having self-confidence and having passion on what you believe in. So they feel it's not their right time to do something. But I think as a person, as an activist and a visual artist, because me too, I started with nothing. Actually, I didn't know anything. It was just a passion in me. So as I started something, when I joined the movement, I started learning things. The experience you learn from the people you're working with, the interactions you make with people who have been in this movement for so long. It has been a great shape in my career as an activist. So I think my fellow colleagues who are passionate in activism in any field, I think it's right for them. It's not right for them to not believe in themselves. I would advise them to stand up and take a risk. My message to the community, especially to my fellow community members, is let's work as a close-knit group of LGBT people. Let's work together. It's about working together that you can achieve a bigger